I feel like in today's world, right, is a lot different than even when I played in what did I graduate? 2018, and you graduated what, 2020?
21 and then 22.
Yeah, right. So the way I look at it now is you can't really buy the logo anymore unless you're I would say, middle to high tier recruit. Because if you look at these schools, and it's not like it used to be where the number one prospect in the world, the number one recruit in the 2027 class has 500 offers. You didn't get the whole stack of mail with every single coach writing you a handwritten letter. So I think with that, like, at the end of the day, playing college baseball is a plus of getting a degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what the logo looks like does not matter at the end of the day. It might to you, right? But at the end of the day, like, you're getting a degree and playing time is the bonus, right? Like, I've met people that are like, yeah, I was okay just kind of being on a college baseball team. And I'm like, every day I didn't play a game, I wanted to punch somebody in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Because what am I doing wasting time, right? Like, and by what I mean by wasting time is if I'm not good enough to be on that field, that's not the spot for me. So if I'm not good enough to be on the field, one, you either work for it, two, you give it up, or three, maybe the classroom's where you need to be and finish your degree. Or maybe sit out that season and find another school. Because I think shopping the logo doesn't help anybody anymore. Because you could shop the logo, let's just say, I'm a Longhorns fan, right? Could I ever play there? No. Do I wish I could have? Sure. But you're shopping that logo, right? And you look at the school, right? And me and you talked about this probably a week or two ago. 90% of enrollment in Texas has to be at UT Austin, right? So that means 10% of the other enrollment is to the other 49 states.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the likelihood of you getting into that school as an athlete?
Even less than it was if they didn't recruit Texas kids.
But then it goes back to look at where these schools recruit these kids. Not everyone's like Coach Corbin who will go up and down the East Coast and find kids, right? Most people don't do that. Sure, they'll get a guy in the portal, right? That maybe was from, I don't know, Boston, Mass, right? He went to 2 years at, let's say, UNC and ends up at Auburn or whatever, right? Like, that does happen. But I feel like Coach Corbin has been one of the only people that consistently is up and down. I mean, we could throw Coach King in there, is up and down the East Coast, right? And just bringing kids left and right from New England to their school. So I think a lot of kids that didn't have the right to buy the logo have gotten those opportunities because of the way that coach recruits. So I think there's many different ways to look at this, but I think the value in it is playing time is more important than the logo. People would think we're just sitting here and bullshitting you, but you should want to go to college to play all 4 years. If you don't play as a freshman, it's totally understandable. But if you're a sophomore and you're not playing, like, probably not the spot for you. Unless you're on a top 25 team in the country at 1, 2, and 3, sure, I totally understand. Because you got to buy your way in. Like, perfect example is Pierce back in the day, right? And John Friday said this the best. You went to Pierce freshman and sophomore year. If you were lucky to get at bats, you were lucky to get at bats. But you were ready to start as a junior. There are most schools that doesn't happen anymore because now the portal is way different than it used to be, right? But that was what it was back then. Now you should be sophomore year ready to go because you have your feet underneath you. You understand what college baseball is like. You know how to stay on the field because you're doing the right thing in the classroom. You know how to take care of your body. You know how to eat right. You know how to be on time for things. So I think it's important to be like, all right, freshman year is kind of essentially a learning curve, right? Sophomore year, I'm ready to be a starter. And if I'm not a starter or a key role player in that team, then this probably isn't the spot for me. And then that goes back to I was just shopping the logo and not shopping what I needed to shop.